I'm Kristen from Tiny Footsteps Travel, and I'm going to show you what you can expect from the Explore bus tour at the Kennedy Space Center. The Explore tour is the bus tour that costs extra money. It takes about 2 hours, and it shows you many things outside of just the general visitor complex. So rather than showing you things that are aimed at tourists, it's showing you things that are relevant to the space program. The exact information and differences between the regular bus tour and the Explore tour can be hard to find on the website, so I'm going to break it down for you right here. The regular bus tour is completely free of charge. It's included with admission. You board the bus at the same place you would the Explore tour. And it takes about 15 to 20 minutes, and it drops you off at the Apollo Saturn V Center. It doesn't make any stops, but you do get to see a few things along the way. The difference with the Explore tour is that, first of all, it costs extra, about $20 an adult. It takes 2 hours to reach the Apollo Saturn V Center, and it makes a few stops along the way, which is part of why it takes 2 hours. You get a narrated bus tour, plus a guided tour of some of the areas that you visit. The Explore tour is especially beneficial for people who are really interested in space and in the space program. We had a 3-year-old with us on the tour, and it went fine, but I'd probably think twice about kids under 3, just because there aren't any bathrooms on the bus except for one at one of the stops. It is fully narrated, so it can be a bit long, and also you're not allowed to eat on the bus, so that might be challenging with toddlers who are under 3 years old. We were a family of 4, myself, my husband, a 12-year-old daughter, and a 3-year-old daughter, who all took the Explore tour together. Regardless of whether you take the free bus tour or the paid one, the buses all board in the same area right here on the map. The Explore tour includes a guide who's very knowledgeable about the Space Center and shares a lot of information. People were also able to ask questions, and if she didn't know the answer, she tried to find it for us.
It'll be all ready to go, color-coded. It's usually blue, red, green, different colors of sorts. And because a lot of these buildings, as well as specifically this one here, has some automatic doors, so they're going to open like a supermarket. Places over the different news outlets will come and actually set up base to explore and
We made 3 stops during our bus tour. The vehicle assembly building further away, and then a closer view of it later on. And then we also stopped at the historic launch complex. We were allowed to take all the photos we wanted at all of the stops, and also the tour guide offered to take photos of us and anyone else that was interested.
now those are really, really cool guys. Put their picture by the way.
We were also told about all the wildlife that lives on the Kennedy Space Center complex. Our guide pointed out some alligators to us that were hanging out on the side of the road. We were surprised to hear that in addition to a space center, it's also a wildlife refuge. As mentioned earlier, your tour will conclude by being dropped off at the Apollo Space Center / Saturn V complex. This place is definitely worth your time. You could spend at least an hour here. There are some good food options here as well, and some places to sit down on site to have a bite to eat. Once you're done, you simply hop back on one of the return buses that leave every 15 minutes, and you'll be back at the visitor complex. So that pretty much sums up the Journey bus tour. I hope you found this helpful in planning your visit to the Kennedy Space Center.